All eyes for the next 14 days will be focused on the 7 judges of the Supreme Court who have until September 5th to determine whether or not the president-elect won validly. Both sides have hired top-notch lawyers to defend them. RAILA'S team: James Aggrey Orengo. Mr. Orengo, a veteran lawyer and one of the longest-serving lawmakers, was also in the 2017 legal team of Mr. Odinga that petitioned the Supreme Court to nullify the re-election of President Kenyatta. In 2021, he represented Mr. Odinga in the Building Bridges Initiative case at the Supreme Court. He started activism in 1970s when he was a student leader at the University of Nairobi. He graduated in 1974 with a Bachelor of Law. He is also a former detainee and advocate of multi-party democracy. In 2002, he vied for presidency and lost to Mwai Kibaki. Philip Murgor. The former Director of Public Prosecutions is the managing partner of Murgor & Murgor Advocates and boasts an experience of 35 years in legal practice. He was admitted to the role of advocate in 1986 and served as the country's DPP from 2003 to 2005. He had previously worked as state counsel at the Attorney General's office for 8 years after graduating from law school. He is also a member grade of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, London Court of International Arbitration, and a member of International Association of Prosecutors. In 1992, Mr. Murgor was appointed to the legal team that defended President Daniel Arap Moi in court in the election petition filed after the first multi-party elections. He is a holder of Masters of Law in International Trade and Investments Law, University of Nairobi, 2011. In 2021, he was among those interviewed for the Chief Justice position. Firozi Noroji. Mr. Noroji was among the lawyers who represented Mr. Odinga in the 2017 petition which led to the nullification of the President Kenyatta's re-election. He was admitted to the bar in 1967 and led the Law Society of Kenya the following year, 1968 to 1969. Over the years, he has been involved in various politically sensitive cases. In 1990, the soft-spoken lawyer was charged with contempt of court for protesting delays in the case concerning the widow of slain government critic Anglican Church Bishop of Eldoret, Alexander Muge. The charges stemmed from a letter Mr. Noroji wrote to the Registrar of the High Court protesting delayed determination of case of Ms. Hama Muge, who is now deceased. Mr. Noroji also represented lawyer cum politician Gitobu Imanyara, the editor of the Nairobi Law Monthly, in September 1990 following the ban of the magazine by the government. Mr. Noroji obtained a stay order against the government's decision to ban the magazine. Fred Ngatia. Mr. Ngatia was also in 2021 interviewed by the Judicial Service Commission for the Chief Justice job. Having represented President Kenyatta in 3 presidential election petitions in 2013 and 2 in 2017 at the Supreme Court, Mr. Ngatia comes with long experience of handling presidential petitions. Mr. Ngatia was admitted to the role of advocate in 1980 and has 41 years of experience in legal profession. His academic and professional qualifications include Master of Applied Philosophy and Ethics from Strathmore University 2019, Master of Laws from London School of Economics, University of London 1984, Bachelor of Laws from the University of Nairobi 1979, and Postgraduate Diploma in Law from the Kenya School of Law in 1980. Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi. Mr. Abdullahi is not new to presidential petitions. In 2013 and 2017, he represented the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC. He is a former member of the Judicial Service Commission and has 29 years of experience in legal practice. He was admitted to the role of advocate in 1993. Mr. Abdullahi is the publisher of the Nairobi Law Monthly and former chairperson of the Law Society of Kenya 2003 to 2005. Professor Kithure Kindiki. Professor Kindiki, the outgoing senator of Tharaka Nithi County, holds a master's in international human rights law and democracy and a PhD in international law, both from the University of Pretoria, South Africa. He served as Secretary of the National Cohesion in the Ministry of Justice soon after the 2008 post-election violence and was instrumental in the drafting of the National Cohesion and Integration Act. However, he resigned after 3 months and accused the government of lacking political will to resettle the hundreds of thousands of people who were displaced by the 2007-2008 post-poll skirmishes. He was drawn into public limelight when DP Ruto appointed him in his legal team when he faced crimes against humanity charges at the ICC.